Might as well just say, hey, you do it for $1 million and we'll save 1.6 and
They're going to have to make. There's some talk about a Frederick contract extension out there. Did Elliott put something out today?
Yeah, he
Or
said
did he
that
say something?
They're working on an 8-year deal or something.
Eight-year
Is
deal.
that-
Yeah, I think
is
he
that
said
right?
that
You
with
heard?
fan hockey show guys.
I don't know why you need to go 8 years.
I don't really understand that either. Listen, I'm not comparing these two, but it reminds me of Engvall, where it's like, who are you bidding against to say 8?
Played 80 games this year and he scored 9 goals.
I mean, I like Frederick, and to be honest, if they wanted to give him 2 a year for 8 years, I'd take him on my team too, but
I doubt that.
The other
not gonna
one,
be 2.
the other one that's concerning here is a lot of talk about Evan Bouchard commanding as much as $10 or $11 million. And
How can he not?
I like Bouchard, but I just don't know if I can win a Stanley Cup with him. I'll be honest.
Absolutely, you can. Absolutely. I think if you look at that decor, I would rather give Bouchard the $10 million and then find a way to trade like Nurse or something like that. Like, move Kane, free the money up
For
Bouchard.
sure, for sure, you can win with Bouchard, but you can't do it. Him being like the absolute go-to guy on the blue line.
Yeah.
That he just doesn't
Ekholm
play.
let them down a bit, I thought.
Ekholm was also out for a very long
He didn't
time.
look like himself.
I
But
mean,
he's
long
35
time.
too, Kip. He's
I know.
He got walked multiple times in big spots
Yes.
where he didn't look very mobile and he didn't look like he was at his best at all. So
So
maybe
if there are signs of Ekholm now declining, like take a look at that blue line for Connor in the next 3 or 4 years.
Like
it is absolute paramount that you have to change it up somewhat. And I like your thought of getting Nurse's $9 million out, but you're going to have to find a stud shutdown guy that can complement the boo-boos every once in a while from Evan Bouchard.
Yeah, and in fairness, he cleaned those up pretty good in playoffs. I don't know.
Last few games,
Yeah.
they were back. They were back.
But, they like Wallman's 29, and he's good for them. Kulak is 31, and he was pretty good for them. And then it's Emberson, Stetcher. This decor surprised me the whole way around. They were the top point per game decor in the Stanley Cup playoff. And every time I look at that decor, I'm like, okay, I guess.
And then the Florida Panthers just ground him to dust with that forecheck. It's just like they can't.
Forsling. Where did he come from? Waivers to shutting down like Connor McDavid.
Dmitry Filipovich, who does some work with Sportsnet, I think he has a podcast with us. He put out an 8-minute mixtape of his defensive prowess. It's absurd.
Yeah.
He is as shut down as it absolutely gets, and to get him off waivers, I love watching him play.
Better than getting him off waivers. He's 29, and he makes $5.75 until the year 2032.
Think about that. Think about if he was going to become a UFA.
Yeah, 12.
12.
Maybe not 12.
11.
9, 11,
But no,
9,
but like
11.
he'd be in the same conversation as like a Pesci.
Yeah.
Oh,
10.
not Pesci. I'm thinking
Slavin.
of Slavin. Thank you.
yeah.
Wrong guy.
Yeah.
Slavin.
Slavin, right? But I don't know.
One thing I was thinking the other day is the money we spend on these players, not we, the league spends on players, is so not correlated with how much they're valued. You look at Team Canada just named like a Sidney Crosby or whatever, but Sid makes 8.7 and
Yeah.
Sam Reinhart makes 8 and 3.6 and you value Forsling so much, but because he doesn't have the points, they're not going to give him that kind of money, Bouchard money. It's like, who would you rather have in this
series? It's more than
series?
that. It's just, it's a timing thing. It is all about your timing. It's about when you peak, when you can sell yourself at the highest. And now Bennett couldn't have timed it any better, right?
Yeah.
But, Forsland was offered security the rest of his life.
He was.
Waiver
And-
claim, just like who
Right?
got
And
caught
it's,
on.
you don't forget where you came from. So you don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth. And he gladly took a long-term deal last year. When did he do it?
He
Right?
signed it in
Beginning of last year, maybe?
March 7th, 2024.
Okay. And it's like, good enough for me.
Yeah, and it's
And
great.
of course he knows it was a
Florida money. They're a good
it's
team.
a mistake, hindsight. But
It's mistake by 50%.
But it's a mistake that, but
He's
it's
like, literally could make double the money.
But it's also a mistake that could make him a 3-time Stanley Cup champion or a 4-time Stanley Cup champion.
Yeah, do that in Toronto, that's worth a lot of money. Do that in Florida, you get cheap
Right.
beers at the elbow room,
Where's
apparently.
Nico Mikkola? Where's he? Got one more year.
Yeah.
That guy can.
You love Nico.
Me too. I was on this guy.
I'm a Nico fan.
You love this guy.
He's got one year left at 2.5.
Yeah, that one's gonna. And how old is he?
You're getting Kulikov at 1.15. Mikola's 29. He's also 6.
And they got Seth Jones, who's just how old now? And
Well,
like,
Seth Jones has just found it. $7 million they're going to pay him after the retention. He's going to be till 2030.
they could be a 3-time in a row.
What do you think Ekblad does?
Leaves.
So he's the one that I think if anyone leaves. However, Bart Marchand.
Marchand.
I think he's kind of an essential piece of their DNA, Ekblad. Because he's like this. He's this nasty back-end defender who has a 57-point season on his resume. He scored some big goals in this playoff run.
Yep.
In Tampa Bay, he scored a really big goal.
How old is he?
He's only 29. Is that right, Justin? Yes, he's only 29.
Oh, he could
He's only
be. Yeah,
29.
he could be looking at a 7-year deal.
For sure.
somebody else.
I'd give it to him in a heartbeat.
Would you give him? Would you get him 8 times 7?
Yes.
Yeah,
For sure I would.
Okay.
And then you find a way to move Morgan Riley, and you have him instead of Morgan Riley.
I have a theory that defensemen with pedigree, high draft pick D-man,
Yeah.
who people thought were going to be a player, are better longer. Like, you're going to get good 30s out of these guys. And Ekblad is a little more injury prone, so that makes me a little hesitant saying that with him. But 6'4", 215, good offensive sense, nasty.
Do you guys want to do?
No-brainer.
You guys want to do game time, and then on the other side of the break, get in some clips?
Sure.
Because I had some really good clips. We haven't mentioned the guy who scored 4 goals in the game, so that was pretty cool.
Gotta go, Sam.
It's game time. Presented by Bet365. Visit the app for latest odds and find out why it's ever ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. So, I quickly went on to Bet365 while you guys are talking. Check out the Stanley Cup favorites for 25-26.
It better be Florida.
Who do you think?
Everybody's jumping on my bandwagon.
Who do you
right
think the
now.
Florida? Who do you think the favorite is?
Florida?
No. No. Well,
Colorado?
Edmonton's tied. with
Colorado,
this
Dallas,
playoff.
Vegas.
No, Carolina.
Oh, wow.
Stop it.
If they get a single bet on that, I would be floored.
Stop it.
What? No
What is it? What's
way.
the payout?
It's 7-1.
All right, I need people who bet on hockey stuff to listen to me, and the books need to not listen for a second. Hold on.
Okay.
Right before, you'll get the same odds before the Stanley Cup playoffs you're going to get now. You can get a whole bunch of information on teams before you place that bet. Unless you're betting a long shot today,
Yeah.
because you think someone's going to sign there, don't bet it.
So, can I say something that made me very worried about this? As I looked down the list to see where the Toronto Maple Leafs were,
Top 10, not even.
they're 20-1. Like there's
That's the longest they've been on.
the Panthers, the Stars, the Golden Knights, the Lightning, the Devils, the Kings, all ahead of them. And I didn't love that.
Who do you disagree with? The Devils, maybe?
Yeah. Anyways, I thought I would bring that up because I think it's hilarious that the Carolina Hurricanes are favored.
Where are the Oilers in that?
Are they?
They're tied,
do they-
7-1.
Do they
7-1?
maybe?
Okay.
Are they
Sorry.
pricing in Marner signing in Carolina? Is that what that is?
Maybe. What do they know?
More than us.
And tonight, down at Rogers Center, the Toronto Blue Jays will look to win the series against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Eric Lauer on the mound for the Toronto Blue Jays. It is a pick-em -110 on both sides. Blue Jays with an unbelievable win last night. You'll hear all about it right after us with Blair and Barker.
Another killer. bees.
Yeah,
Blair
but
and
man,
Barker on
Bo
Barger,
Bichette and then
Bichette.
Barger,
Bombs.
sickest arms in the league. So Jays are getting hot against these kind of crappy teams at home.
Bye, bicep.
And yeah, those are pretty sick. Those are pretty sick
Come on
arms.
over
too.
and swing on the monkey bars.
I've seen bigger arms than a snake than over here. Anyways, that was Game Time presented by Bet365. Visit the app for latest odds and find out why it's ever ordinary